cashier. I trust she's clean. But you just never know who was out here before this. It's coronavirus. I guess you don't have it. Or you don't know yet. I guess this is what it's like to be living in end times. I thought it ended 4 years ago when the man moved to town, but didn't end yet. So what I want to know is, can I start smoking again? Like, what am I saving it up for? How much longer do we really have? If there's a scientist here, just shout out the number of years. Because I don't think it's more than 5. I see people that are pregnant, I'm like, that is adorable. Like, do we not read? Like, it's just, they're not gonna, like, no. I'm doing this for the future of my children. Oh, there isn't one, but okay. Poor Gen Z, all upset about the environment. They won't make it past 30. Relax, everybody. I know this is dark, but here's the thing. I came to laugh to forget. I get it, but you know what? Laughter is important. You know, like there's doctors and there's legal experts who are helping us through messes. There's people making a difference in the world, and I always think I'm not making a difference because I'm just a comedian. And people say laughter is so important, and I say that's true, but I think we've laughed enough. Look how fucked up shit is. I think we've been laughing too much for too long. After tonight, please start taking things more seriously. I'm being paid to do here. Why are you in a crowd? You're insane. There's a pandemic! The box office is going to call me and be like, can you not do that again? We have concerts all month. Everything's fine. So I'm on the plane. I'm wiping it down. I've been doing this forever. Me and Naomi Campbell have always been wiping down the plane. Because I don't want to get sick. If I get sick, I lose my voice. I can't do the show. So I'm wiping my seat, and the guy next to me, he's new to wiping. You can tell because he's explaining it to everybody. He's like, I have a present for you, and he gave me a handy wipe, like a wet wipe. 99% bacteria, kills all the bacteria, but it's for hands. I pull out Clorox bleach wipes. I know it's not good to bring bleach on a plane. I did it anyway. And so I was like, I got it, honey. It was very Crocodile Dundee, like, that's not a knife, this is a knife. But the guy said to me, he said, coronavirus is so scary. You could just be walking around living your life and, bump into the wrong thing and it'll kill you. And I said, that's how we feel about men, yeah. It's fascinating to me to watch people who've never had to think about anything before, like suddenly be afraid of life, but I don't know, besides all this, I'm growing my bangs out. It's like, God, can anything go right? Like, it's just... Like, if I had known shit would be so fucked up this month, I would have waited, but it's already, I can almost touch them. I can't give up now. I know I'll die the day they grow out. Isn't that just life? She died doing what she loved, growing out her bangs every 6 months. I live in LA, so the coronavirus is really scary because I know it affects only elderly people, but I'm 45, so the coronavirus in LA will come after me. Sashir mentioned looking younger. I am one of the lucky white women that looks younger than her age. Not that it's good or bad to look younger or older, but people seem to think it's a better thing. I'm 45 and people always go, you don't look it. I met a younger woman once who went, are you okay? I went, oh yeah, it's fine. Like I was born 0 just like everyone else. Like I've lived all the ages, like it's fine. But see, here's the thing, you can compliment away. Go tell someone you look good, you look cool, you look rich, you look, I don't know, whatever, your skin looks good, your clothes are cool. But saying to someone, you don't look your age, that's not a compliment. Because what you're saying is, it is unacceptable to be your age. And I think that's awful. And I know in 10 years, well, we won't be here, oh thank you. In 10 years, even though we won't be here, but in 10 years, it will be offensive to tell women that they look younger than their age and expect them to take it as a compliment. I guarantee you. Mark my words, that girl, and I'll still be growing out my bangs, and you'll let me know. So anyway, but, people always say that to me, like, I like my age. Like, I don't want to look like I have 4 roommates and shitty towels. I like to look really young. I was taking a Pilates class, and I don't know if any of you who do exercise classes, you sometimes modify. They announce it at the beginning of class. So if anyone here can't do all the moves today, please let us know that you are going to modify. You have to say it up front or else they think you're being lazy. So I'll be modifying today. It implies there's an injury or something important's going on, and so I forgot to mention I was modifying because I forgot that I didn't, it was 8 a.m., I have a little bit of neck arthritis, whatever, so I'm laying down. See, the inside of my body knows I'm 45. My bones are like, why are we still alive? So I'm doing this, I can't lift up, so I modify, which is lay there, and the 20-year-old... You can't do the hundreds if you can't, I just am going like this. So the 20-year-old comes over, she goes, are you okay? And I go, yeah, I'm fine, I just need to modify. She goes, are you hungover? I go, no. And she goes, oh. I go, I'm just 45 at 8 a.m. And she goes, oh. I said, so hungover at 8 a.m. when you're 20 is 45 and not hungover at 8 a.m. And she was like, that is really useful information. Thank you. I'm Generation X, and I'm very upset because we have such bad PR. Thank you. We were the first people to contend with climate change, all the things that we're completely, known about. Like, I don't blame any generation for anything. There's bad and good people in each generation, right? Like, we've got, God, I can't remember his name. He's in Texas with the guns and the one that Beto wanted to be, but he couldn't. Ted Cruz, see? Perimenopause, can't think of things. We've got Ted Cruz, millennials, you've got Mark Zuckerberg. There's bad people in every generation. Everyone boos because they know he's watching you. But we don't get a lot of credit. Like, this person said to me once, you guys didn't give a shit about anything, you were just slackers. I was like, no, young people, don't use the talking point that older people used to say about us. Like, we weren't slacking. And people are like, what? I don't, prove that you were trying to do things to help the world when you were younger. I'm like, I can't, we didn't have Instagram, but I promise. And this guy on Twitter was like, why don't you have any pictures from back then? I'm like, because in the 90s, if you had a camera, you were a photographer. There were cameras, but you didn't go out at night like, hey everyone, I'm here. Like, they were large, And bringing cameras when you went out at night, when you were Gen X, like in the 90s, it was weird. It was like, who brought the narc? This is private time. Why would you take pictures of a birthday party? We're doing things here that we don't want anyone to see. So you have a disposable camera. I think they might still sell them. They're kind of cardboard. They have 24 pictures in them. Film pictures. You can't look at it and see, what you look like in it. So you can't even take a selfie because there'd be no point because you probably just get a picture of the wall. We had selfies in my day. They just never came out. They were pictures of walls. That's what it was. So, but the thing is, since we never took cameras everywhere, it's like you buy a roll of film and you go to maybe a wedding, take 10 pictures, and then you put not roll of film, the camera, then you put the camera down in your, kitchen somewhere, and you look at it and go, God, there's 14 pictures left on that to take. I'm not gonna get rid of that until like 6 months from now, and then the next event I have to go to. Then you forget what's on the camera and you drop it off at the CVS or whatever pharmacy, and then you start to go picking it up and you're like, there might be some boobs on there. You know what, forget it, because the person that worked the counter is also the one that developed the film, and so they're just waiting for you like, I don't need those pictures. I was doing a gig once and I was talking about how cars used to come with lighters. And a younger woman in the front row started laughing, but that was just the setup to the joke and there's nothing funny about it. But I asked her, why are you laughing? This sometimes it can be good information for a comedian. Maybe there's some gold in there that I didn't realize I was saying. And she said, well, it's just not really a good incentive to buy a car, is it? Oh, here's a lighter. And I was like, it took me a minute. I was like, what? And I was like, no, that's not what I meant. She thought I meant people used to just buy a Cadillac and they'd be like, here's your Zippo, thanks, you know? Nobody ever told me there'd be a day that cars don't have lighters anymore, so I never thought I'd have to explain it. So I was like, no, cars, lighters, part of the car, steering wheel, ignition, lighter. No, listen. And so I explained it to her that people used to smoke and there would be lighters in cars and then also ashtrays in cars. And she went, what if you were a non-smoker? And I was like, oh, honey, don't pretend. I'm not just saying this because it's Washington, D.C., but seriously, a couple of weeks ago, I rewatched the movie All the President's Men, and Dustin Hoffman is playing Bernstein. He smokes throughout the movie, which is fine, but he'll go into people's homes that he doesn't know, who aren't smokers, and just light up. And that's what you did back then. Like, you just smoked anywhere, and people had to deal with it. And I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is, it was wonderful, and like, I have asthma, I shouldn't be around smoke. There was something so carefree about going, we all go anyway, let's just smoke while we can. And when I was a teenager, you know, because you could smoke everywhere, I never got in trouble. I'd go home and my mother would go, were you smoking? I'm like, no, I was at the library. She's like, oh, good point, okay, yeah. My mom and I are really close. She's the most amazing person. She's 81 years old, doesn't seem it. Not that 81 is old. If anyone here is 81, I don't want to treat you the way I get treated with my 45 list. But, you know, 81, let's be honest, is older. And so, but my mom's running around. She's gambling. She's seeing concerts. She's like a totally different person. And, you know, at Christmas this year, she goes, she's super Catholic, Boston Catholic woman. And this year she just goes, she tells me everything, not my older sisters. Like, we have a bond. She goes, Jennifer, can you... I think this is all made up. I go, what, Christmas? The whole damn religion. See, now you might think that's cool, yeah, but I want my mom to have religion because my personal beliefs are that whatever you believe happens is what happens to you when you die. And my mom thinks she's going to heaven and there's a Jesus and a light. I want her to think that. She's not equipped to just be like, there's nothing. You know what I mean? I want her to believe, so I kept trying to convince her. No, there's a lot, you know, there's historical Jesus. There's at least historical Jesus. He did exist, whether or not all the miracles happened. And she goes, Jennifer, I didn't wait to have sex with your father because there was a historical Jesus. I thought he came back from the dead and I was scared of him. We were Catholic, but we weren't overly religious. I don't know if any Catholics here can relate to that. Like, when I started traveling the country is when I started seeing real Christians. You know, they've got bumper stickers that are like, Jesus is God, read the Bible. And Catholics are like, oh, there's a Bible we've never seen. Catholics are a self-hating people. Christians believe God loves them. We're like, what? Like, we never knew that was an option. We assumed God hated us because bad things happen, and we're like, obviously that's my fault. And Christians are like, Jesus loves me. He does. He drove my daughter to school today. That's right. The car just sped off, and I said, there he goes. I shot my husband between the eyes, dead. Jesus said, that's okay, honey. You didn't shoot me. He loves me. Christians really believe it's part of their life, and it gets them through it. Catholics are atheists who are like, just in case, you know. My mother hates gratitude. Why the hell would I tell God I'm thankful for something when I haven't gotten everything I wanted in life? Are you kidding me? And she would always say, stop talking to God. You can't give gratitude to God. He's busy. And so if, you know, you're tying up the line and then you can't help other people. So in my mom's eyes, you know, God is up there like running a switchboard, taking calls. And people are like, God, thank you for my mommy and my stuffed animals and my A+ that I got in class. And people are like, we haven't had water in 4 days. And God's like, I'll get you, I'm God, I'm not God, you know what I'm saying? These gratitude people won't shut up. I used to get confused at religion. I'd ask questions. What does Father, Son, Holy Spirit mean? I don't get it. Is God Jesus or is he a man? I don't understand. And my mother would go, don't ask things. They can hear you. So when my mom wanted to explain stuff to me, she'd get over here, Jennifer. She'd put her arm around me, we'd put our head down so God couldn't read our lips. And you can take this with you on this Sunday. This counts as going to church. My mother said to me, here's religion. It's a mystery. Don't even bother figuring it out. Your head will spin. Go to church, sit there, go to Mass. Go to the early one, the one that's only 45 minutes because there's no choir. That counts. God checks your name off the list, you go to Dunkin' Donuts. That's how you live your life. Thank you so much.